What's up, guys? Chris Teresi here, professional sports bettor, founder of www.wecoverspreads.com, coming to you live from the beautiful confines of upstate New York. Wednesday's my kind of recharge day. I had a lot of running around to do this morning, but it's kind of my the hump day, the middle of the week before the hectic weekend of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So came up here to kind of recharge, relax, and get ready for what's going to be a big weekend. Right now, MLB, we're red hot on a 7-1 run, 88% winners. We've netted over 26 star units of profit, in that span. And I'm not a guy that likes to tout, like, I never use game of the years or none of that smoke and mirrors type of stuff, lock of the year or game of the century. I don't use any of that. I don't believe in none of that. I'm sure it's great for marketing purposes for other guys that, sell picks or whatever, but that's not my style. But I do have a 5-star huge play, 5-star play. I guarantee one thing. I can't guarantee to win because there's no such thing as life and being able to guarantee, a game to win. I think that's a scam. Anybody's telling you the game's guaranteed to win, it's a scam artist. But I will guarantee if it loses, I'll refund anybody that buys a pick today. So if you guys want, I have a 5-star play. My crew here in New York, we all hopped on it. Definitely kind of left the books a little exposed on it. They made a move. That's local here in New York. With our local bookies, we kind of spread the money out and definitely looking to do some damage on that game. And I think we got them in a spot where they're exposed. But as we get down the market breakdown, it hasn't really tailspinned out of New York yet. But, that could change as the day goes on. There may be some guys that piggyback our early move on the game that we took. But if you guys want, you can hop on, get that play for $24.99 at the site. And if it loses, you will be refunded in full. So, I'm a man of my word. But that's pretty much as guaranteed as I could get. But I feel really solid about the game and think we definitely cash out a winner today. Onto the market breakdown report, basically. It's pretty, pretty simple today. We're looking at about, I'd say, a little more than 3 out of 5 tickets coming in on Philly from the public. You're looking at the total is where the books are really exposed. They opened this at 7 yesterday. Last night took quick sharp money, adjusted up to 7.5, and now they're seeing clear public, like 8 out of 10 tickets coming in from squares on the over here, kind of leaving them in a spot where they can get exposed. If the over cashes, they're going to be paying out a lot of square tickets on the over because it's tied in with a lot of parlays, as well as the early sharp move at 7. Now it's been moved up to 7.5. They try to protect themselves, but sharps aren't betting the over at 7.5. The sharp move was at books that opened at 7. Not every book did open at 7.5 yesterday, just to let you know. And as far as where the baseball line movements, they're really not. You can't really follow them. It's not as like sharp money behind a baseball line move. Like, you can't really gauge baseball line moves. I think if you follow line moves blindly in any sport, you're not going to make money. But if you go follow baseball line moves on the blind, I feel you'll really end up in the red, because a lot of times it could be square money moving the line, or it could be head fake money. It could be one group or one little syndicate that's moving the baseball line, where a lot of guys could maybe not be on that. It doesn't take that much money to move a baseball money line, so keep that in mind. But this line opened at -115. Vegas odds maker source said he got as high as about -123, has settled back at -120 at recording time. He said that he's pretty much looking at a mixture of sharp action. I guess they look at St. Louis in a do or die spot, and there's other guys who feel Philly's the real deal. So he said that he's getting a mixture of sharp money, which is why he's happy. And he said he's getting about a little more than 3 out of 5 tickets from squares on Philly, and Philly is a little popular in parlays, but nothing too crazy exposed. So, not a lot of squares. I mean, squares do bet playoff baseball, but nothing like playoff football or college football or nothing like that. So he's not too exposed there. But so he said he's not too worried about that game. The money's, pretty even, especially sharps haven't come in on one clear side. So that kind of helps him out. Here in New York, it's pretty much the same story, same exact story. I know last night, some guys kind of leaned Philly, and then now you're looking at St. Louis as possibly other guys jumping in later today, trying to get a better number than what was out there yesterday, now that the line moved. So it really depends on who you speak with. I know guys on both sides, sharp bettors on both sides. Some guys feel Philly's clear-cut better team. Oswalt gets the job done. Other guys I spoke to feel that that basically that St. Louis knows Oswald, and they'll be able to hit him around here, and they like Jackson in this spot, and they like St. Louis with their backs against the wall. And St. Louis should have won that game yesterday. They had a lot of opportunities and didn't get it done. So again, that game really depends on who you speak with. Milwaukee, Arizona. Um, it's a game right now. My odds maker source said that he's basically getting about definitely 3 out of 5 bets coming in on Milwaukee here, so he's not too lopsided. Sharps haven't taken a position out there on the West Coast yet on that game. Said the total, he's taken about 7 out of 10 tickets on the over, so it's not too heavily exposed. He said the most popular parlays you're looking at today in his shop is Philly, the over in the Philly game, in Milwaukee. Somehow intermingled together. Those 3 plays are probably the most 3 popular plays and parlays from square bettors. Again, I know some sharps yesterday who liked Milwaukee, but my circle of guys, we hit Arizona late, and I told you that in the video yesterday, a lot of my West Coast guys like Arizona, and they bet them early. And we didn't bet it here in the East Coast till like probably 7 o'clock at night. We hopped on Arizona late, so that was a late move by us, that we took later on in the evening. So it'll be interesting to see what position sharps take on this game as the night goes. But from speaking with my bookie source, I was like, did you guys get lopsided Arizona action yesterday? And he told me actually I didn't. He said that he actually did take some sharp money on Milwaukee yesterday, so it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like they got lopsided on Arizona. And if many of you watched, that line didn't move. So that's what I'm saying. That line stayed at like between Arizona plus 100 plus 105 all day. So baseball line movements, you can't really pay attention to them. You can't really gauge them because there was so much public money in that game, and there was a small percentage of us sharps that took Arizona, that hit Arizona hard. But our money on Arizona wasn't enough to like really move that line, because there was other sharps on Milwaukee, and there was a lot of square money on Milwaukee. So we didn't have enough money on that game to move that line, even though Arizona was our move, like my move, my guys in my circle here, my sharp circle here in New York, as well as my West Coast contacts. But overall, on the big broad scale, that wasn't the case. There was money, different sharps in different places, different crews. They all think differently sometimes. Sometimes it's not a clear-cut, sharp move on a baseball or even a football game. And in both of these games tonight, Milwaukee, Arizona especially, there hasn't been any sharp move yet from anybody. I don't know too many guys that have hopped into that game. And then Philly, St. Louis really depends on who you speak with. So we'll see what happens. But if you guys want, hop on that 5-star play tonight, guaranteed. If it doesn't win, I will refund everybody. But I feel really good. We walk out of there with a big winner. And hope you guys can utilize this information, and hopefully you can make some money. Good luck, guys.